When people found out that like we weren't close friends, they got so upset.
Unless you've been underneath the rock, everybody knows what's going on right now.
They're not friends?
With Abba and Preach. The last 2 weeks, it appears that Abba has been under a lot of allegations, many of which I find to be, from my research, you know, there's a Dropbox out there that anybody can open. It's a lot of untruths going on with Abba. And the fact is that because of these untruths and with so many women coming forward within a certain time frame, he can't cover all of this as lies, because all of these things are not lies, all right? But even before that, there was a video that was out maybe in 2020 about Abba and Preach's friendship.
If you look at two professional athletes and they work professionally, but they're not friends.
How is Michael Jordan not friends with Scottie Pippen? Like, chill.
Here he says Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan, they win championships together, but they're not the best of friends. And this is what Abba and Preach are pretty much saying. This is 2020. That they're not close friends. They're really just business partners. And by their vibe, you would think that they're the best of homies. And at that time, it appears they were not. It is now 2026, 6 years later. That could be definitely different. I mean, relationships change throughout the years, but there was an important part in that 2020 video that they said this.
Is that when you guys thought we were at our best, which was like 2-3 years ago, that's actually when we had the most turbulence between each other. Right now, we're in the best place possible.
Yo, that was, it was, bruv, everything was a struggle. Everything was a
comedy was a struggle. Our relationship was a struggle. The YouTube stuff was a struggle. Now things are smooth.
Yeah, you're right.
So around the time where people thought that Abba and Preach were at their height was really when Abba and Preach were beefing the most. They had some problems.
They don't seem like they beef at all. You know, I mean, but you never know what's going on in somebody's personal relationship when they're presenting a show. I think a lot of people forget that. It's a show. It's still a show. Although it's YouTube and it's not the huge Hollywood productions, it's still a show. And for a show, it's a certain amount of showmanship. I personally would have thought they were friends, in my opinion. I just, that would be the assumption. But, I guess they just work well together or vibe well together. I just find it interesting that you would choose somebody that you're not like really cool with to take this YouTube journey. You know what I mean? But who knows what their circumstances were.
Relationship, they had some problems in their friendship. And that's interesting because somebody alerted me to this whole misunderstanding. I believe one of you guys commented about this. And then it brought me to this video. Now, I'm not on their members only, but it says here, our friendship is on shaky ground right now.
Whoa. Whoa, they don't mess with each other. That's a very friendly Canadian way to say it.
Obviously, they've been talking about what's going on the members only page. Again, my heart goes out to Preach.
Right. Preach should start his own channel. It seems like it's doing well, though.
It's hard for you guys to think that I don't like these guys. As content creators, I do like these guys. I'm just largely disappointed in somebody like Abba. I'm gonna tell you exactly why. But before I do that, let me address some of his supporters. You guys out here, he's single, he can do what he wants. I've heard comments, they're just white girls, making excuses for his behavior because he's a single man. Number one, Abba and Preach are a brand, okay? So you gotta understand it. They're not just a YouTube channel, they are a brand. The sort of content that they pick, which is social commentary, in which they hold other people to higher standards, which must mean, by default, if you're holding other people to higher standards, then you must also hold yourself to the higher standard. This is why.
I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about the whole Abba situation. If you don't know what's going on with him, apparently he got like 3 ladies pregnant at the same time, same couple months. Some Stefan, Nick Cannon type of situation. And when I first heard it, I was like, there could be worse scandals, right? And I really don't have a lot of condemnation for him because, in my life, I'm not saying I took a bunch of ladies to the chop shop. That's what he's being accused of, running them downtown and, to take that ride. I haven't done that, but I've definitely in my younger years been reckless with my Johnson. You understand what I'm saying? So I can't condemn Abba for doing the things he's done. He should know better, as I do, as many men do, particularly when you talk that talk. But at the same time, I just find it hard to really be mad at him. He's weak. He's fallen victim to something that men have fallen victim to since the beginning of time. God put it in you. You know what I'm saying? It's that calling, that hunger. Now, he should have wrapped it up, definitely. And I hear that some of the accusations are that he threatened to, if the women were to have the child, or that he wouldn't be involved in the child's life and everything. And I think that's kind of messed up. That's pretty screwed up. But he's also just saying that. What someone says, versus their actions are two different things. Had he been verbally abusive to these women? I don't know. I did see one thing when he was talking to the lady and not really confirming her pregnancy, but he was somewhat not denying it as they spoke. And he was giving the old, only got one ball and all that. I had an accident when I was a kid and I can't have kids. I don't know what you're talking about. Regular hood nigga shit. It's good to know they make them in Canada, but it's certainly not the smartest moves to make, particularly when you talk that way. As O'Shea said, they have a brand, and that brand is about accountability and being upstanding, good, strong men. To be honest with you, I thought he might have been gay. Not that he did anything gay enough, and I wasn't sure about it, but he was just the texture of his commentary is generally very sensitive. For that reason, I thought, maybe he's maybe he's just saying it because he's always like anti-red pill. Not that I'm a red pill guy. I'm just a guy. I got flaws, I got ups, I got downs, I got, but I think he sort of made himself out to be the moral police to some degree. And it's like, aha, you're not so moral, are you? But the things he did, I mean, well, man, I know plenty of people who have done much, much worse.
Abba did not want this information out. He was begging people, don't talk to these girls. He was telling Stephanie that, please, it's going to ruin me. Why? He understood that if the information got out, it was damaging to the brand. He understood that. They have made a lot of money from this brand. They've gotten opportunities from this brand. They have sold out shows from this brand. And ethically, if you have a brand like Abba and Preach, which is, in my honest opinion, is highly intellectual social commentary. You guys may say, well, he's not that smart. Yeah, the guy is smart. All right. I'm a smart guy myself. I was a bachelor's of science in biology. I went to medical school. It is clear when it comes to the social commentary space, they're elite. Abba's an elite commentator. He's probably the best I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of guys. He's number one. Preach is good too. Don't get me wrong. But a team, they're dynamic. But at the same time, when you're using your platform to meet these women, fly these women out, okay? Because he's not, how would Abba just meet these women? Is he going to the United States? No, he's meeting them for the first time once they come there, right? So that means they saw him from Abba and Preach. That means whatever he's doing on camera is performative to a certain degree. And women are inboxing him, messaging him. They're fans, they're in the Discord. And Abba is sleeping with women, largely white women and Asian, from the channel. I would liken this more or less to a pastor sleeping with church members. It's not the same exact thing, but it's the same.
Is that what you're mad at him about? The fact that he's hitting the fans? Are you not supposed to do like that? To be honest with you, I think his only crime is not wrapping it up. That's his major crime. Maybe he spoke to these women out of turn or, who knows. But his crime is not wrapping it up, not being smart, not having any dick discipline. How many dudes have fallen? Some of the greatest men have fallen to this. I'm sorry. I can't really condemn him. Where I am in my life right now, I'm able to exert that level of control. But I wasn't always. And hell no, I ain't run a bunch of broads to the chop shop, but I easily could have. Very easily could have. Just the luck of the draw. I was like, whoa, maybe I did have low sperm count. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. But it very easily could have been me. And it's definitely been situations with women where I would wish I wouldn't have been happy. Let's say that. Although it was my fault. So, I mean, I can't see everybody coming down on him, except for the fact that he portrays himself as the moral police. As the moral police, you must be moral. But he talking about just because of the fact that he met the women from his channel. I mean, It's whatever. It's not like he took anything. What did he? Am I missing something? If I'm wrong, let me know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe my morals are twisted.
Whereas the pastor has a lot of control over the church members, over a female church member. She looks at him in a higher standard, a higher way. He has an advantage over her. And that's kind of what it's like. You know, when you have female subscribers, and this is the thing that a lot of guys don't understand, and unfortunately, a lot of you guys here don't understand leadership. You don't understand leadership in the business like this, which is probably why the guys who talk like this don't have good businesses. Guys who talk like this.
And he is right. You shouldn't shit where you eat, as they say. No, it's not smart. But I don't know. This is just a lot of backlash for messing around with your fans. I mean, what about every rapper and every musician that ever existed ever? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not smart, but it's minor to me. This whole thing seems really, really minor.
Don't have female employees. The guys who talk like this don't understand any kind of ethics. All right? You just don't. You cannot, as a brand, be sleeping with your customers. It's not a good look. Now, it's different.
I can see if he's sleeping with his employee. Employees, I get it. Customers, in this respect, where your customers are your viewers, or in his case, his fans, I wouldn't recommend it. But is that illegal or something? Are you breaking some laws? You talking about you have power over something? You don't have any power over someone other than the fact that they like what you talking. You know? People are so easy to relinquish their power. They have power. He had power over her. I thought women were strong, powerful, hear me roar women. How does he have power over them? It doesn't. I don't know. I think y'all whining about nothing, man. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm wrong. They cussed me out my last video. I made a whole bunch of jokes about it or whatever, but I really can't see the major problem. Not smart. You know, if he was looking up to me as a big bro, a father, uncle, nephew, I mean, whatever, I wouldn't advise him to move that way. But life will teach him. Shit, all these women coming out to teach him, but I don't see the finger wagging. Come on, O'Shea, you over there in Africa. You trying to say you ain't, you know what I'm saying, you know something.
Was dating one of the people from the channel, and then he married her, and that was it. They broke up. It was a big breakup between two people. Understandable. We should not be hearing stories from 5 different women, okay? So what does that do? It puts pressure for Preach because...
And that's not cool. Don't get it confused. I know that's not cool. In my big old age, I know that's not cool. But yo, you young, that motherfucking, that your Johnson be talking to you. And they coming at him and he like, yo, this one is nice. He's a single man and he got caught up. I'm ready to give him a second chance. I don't know about anybody else. I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad at him. This deserves a one rap on the knuckle from the nun. 6 months probation.
You know what Preach didn't do? Preach didn't have a scandal. Want to know what Preach was doing? Preach was doing his thing. Preach was not out here messing up. But Preach got to come out and look like a hypocrite. And I like Preach. I like Abba too, okay? Abba's out here lying though. It's evident. Abba's not here telling the truth. It's evident. But he put Preach in a situation where Preach got to come out here and go out there and explain Abba's situation, which makes Preach sound just like Myron when Myron was defending Fresh. That's what Preach looks like now. Preach looks just as hypocritical, if not even worse, because what Abba's doing, his behavior mimics somebody in the red pill community, to be honest. I've never even seen somebody in the red pill community have 3 pregnancies. Never. We heard maybe 1, and that was Fresh, and that wasn't real. Abba had 3 real pregnancies from his own audience, which means that Abba...
Reckless. Very, very, very reckless. Very reckless.
His, after you get pregnant, he starts to change up on you. It's worse than any red pill creator, and I'm coming from the red pill. The only guy that might be worse than him is Andrew Tate, but everybody else, Abba, is far worse. Now Preach is in a situation where he got to come on to the live stream and lie. So you want to know why? Our friendship is on shaky ground right now because if Abba was in the real truth, they wouldn't be on shaky ground. If Abba didn't do nothing wrong to damage Abba and Preach's brand that they built together for almost a decade, wouldn't be no problem. But it's on shaky ground because Abba messed it up. And I see his fans coming throughout the comments when it was Myron and Fresh and Fit. Oh my God. And I dislike Fresh and Fit a whole lot. Be out there shooting it, leaving it in, finishing in your audience, not wearing condoms. And then he had something to say. Well, guys, you know, I've told you about this before, that I don't like condoms. So let's say somebody doesn't know that. So somebody should understand that you don't like condoms. Someone should understand that. We should also know that you have.
Look, and let's keep it 100. I told y'all, I'm an old dog. I've had more situations where she didn't want a condom than me. You should take it off. It's just, it make me dry. It's a little, I want to feel you. Can I feel you? Come on, man. Don't make it seem like it's always the dude. Now, I don't know Abba's particular situation. I don't know what's going on with this Johnson. But it takes two to tango. Like, I don't understand. Yes, perhaps he switched up and was a jerk. That's messed up. That's terrible. That's not respecting. We're not going to say respecting women. That's not respecting another person, right? You skeeted in her. Now she knocked up. You want to throw under the bus. You want to do whatever you can do to try to get her not to have this baby, right? After you had your way with her. She allowed you. Let's not miss that. She allowed you to have your way with her. I understand that. But don't make it like it don't take two to tango, man. Did he sneaky slip off the condom? Did he take it? Don't get it messed up. These ladies let him skeet in them. They don't know him. He's an internet guy. Let's put it in reverse. What do you say to a lady that let some random internet guy skeet in her? And then she's going to turn around and try to destroy his name on the internet. No, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm having a hard time condemning him. And don't get it messed up. I don't got no bunch of broads pregnant or whatever, but like I said, when I was younger, I was quite reckless. I understand his pain. He's suffering. He got a disease, man. It's a disease.
Low sperm count? Like, who would know that? You guys have thousands of videos. It doesn't matter. You're using it as an excuse to justify what you're talking about. And again, if these guys break up, which, again, this is going to taint their brand. Like,
they're about to split up like the Temptations.
Let me tell you, it might not hurt them in views, but in other opportunities, it will. It will. Because, first of all, you can't bring Abba around white women anymore. I'm sorry. Gonna say it like that. The priest,
man, it's gonna get him more white women. There's no nigga I know with 7 babies that can't have 8. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. There's a certain quality of woman that's attracted to that. That is intrigued. That's the word I'm looking for. There's a certain type of woman that's like, you got all them kids, you got all them kids, you got all them babies, and as if that equates to some, some fire. Smash. I don't know what O'Shea's talking about. I don't know what most of y'all talking about. Like I said, let me know in the comments if I'm crazy, yo.
Yeah, he's cool. But
and furthermore, the nigga's Ethiopian. And they preaching Jamaican or something. I heard them niggas don't never use condoms. Allegedly.
One of them are really great without the other. So they bounce off each other, right? So you can't be somebody and give Abba and Preach any kind of sponsorship right now. You can't give them access around women because Abba cannot control himself.
What do you do?
He has a sexual addiction. Then let's call the elephant out in the room. They're a black team. So what do we really have? Let's peel it back.
They Canadian black though, without no edge ups. You know what I'm saying? When you Canadian, no, like I don't have no hair, but if I did, I'd have an edge up. So without an edge up, that's not the same thing. That's not the same.
You got a black dude who uses the Abba and Preach platform as a performative exhibition for women who most likely might be sapiosexual, or they may like him, to express his intellectual ability. That is one of the reasons why Abba and Preach are so strong. Their commentary is vast. It's not like mine, where I focus largely on the black experience. Abba and Preach focus on so many different levers of social commentary that are not exclusive to the black community. Every now and again, they can definitely talk about the black community stuff, but they don't build their whole entire base off of that. Their commentary is widespread, and I would believe that most of Abba and Preach's fan base are not black. Unlike I would guess that most of my fans are black. So they have, number one, larger areas to grow and to be impactful. It's hard growing a channel like mine's in the black space. And I know that. I mean, I've gotten almost 500,000 subscribers on YouTube, but because my channel is largely in the black space, it's kind of hard to get 1 million, 2 million subscribers. In order to get those sorts of channels, you got to kind of have like a fan base of non-blacks for the most part. So now these women get to hear you speak about a lot of these things intelligently. So now they start falling for Abba the individual. But really what it is when things go wrong, Abba the black dude don't want to take care of his responsibilities. Abba the black dude is reckless, and it's a part of Abba and Preach. So one of the guys is a Pookie. One of the guys disrespects women. When you hear those recordings, that's what you hear. So now you went from guys who happen to be black touching a social commentary space to, wait a minute, one of these guys are possibly, for some people, both of these dudes, we are who we thought they were. You see? And now Preach got to come in and clean it up.
What, men? How many YouTubers do you believe have mixed it up with a viewer? How many large YouTubers have had some interaction with their fans? I would venture to say 99%, including probably you, O'Shea. You probably was lucky, or you used the rubber and you ain't screw up. You and your high horse talking. We don't know what you're doing over there in Africa, in Uganda. Come on, man. Stop playing. All that ass over there, you ain't never. Come on, man. And once again, I'm not saying it's right. It's a lapse in discipline. It's a chink in his armor. But to be condemned like he can't do anything and nobody wants him around because he might get some pussy, what? Come on, man.
Interviews, go do live streams, but Preach knows what Abba was doing. He knows that Abba was screwing it up. He knows it. And Abba didn't put the bag in a situation where now they don't have leverage over nobody because they don't have a clean image. Now they're fractured. They can't respond to Fresh and Fit no more. They can't say nothing about Fresh and Fit no more.
Why not?
And that was a lot of money. To be able to respond to Fresh and Fit every year, getting to beef with them was probably worth millions of dollars. That's gone now because it's too messy now. Abba can never come after anybody anymore without this.
Why not? People always talk about that cancel stuff. And so what? This time next year, it's going to be people that don't even remember this. They don't even know what's going on. They won't even remember anything. It'll be whispers in the comment section. You know, I got them girls pregnant that one time that year. And how many of them had a baby? Now. And personally, I think the one that looked like Michael Jackson was never pregnant. The one that had 9 canceled abortion trips. Yeah, I don't believe her at all.
Evidence, you're done. And you need a little bit of a beat sometime to grow your channel up, but you're done now. So that's why they friendship is on shaky ground. And if all of you guys out there who honestly believe that what they were doing was so right, that I don't know why anybody tripping, they just white women, they just Asian women, get over it. No, because you're broke. That's why you're talking like that. You never had money. Anybody who talks like that, that's why nobody wants to deal with somebody like you. You don't understand responsibility. Nobody wants you in their nice neighborhoods. Nobody wants you in their business. Nobody wants you in their friend group because you're not responsible. You're bad for the brand.
This dude is out of his mind. Do you know how many people with money do that? Why do you think that dudes be getting money? We do understand that discipline will enable you to go further. Dick discipline is extremely important. It will enable you to do so much more. You're right. Some people feel offended. They don't want to see the big lip Negro come around laying his sexuality down. But you think it's not happening? How many, you said all these rich people in the world, everybody's extreme disciplined? Not down there. Perhaps discipline with money, perhaps discipline with hustle, but discipline with women? Come on, man. It's a classic thing. He's not the first one. It's not race related. None of that has to do with it. He's a man that fell to temptation. That's why it's called temptation. It's tempting. Goddamn Jeff Bezos. You gonna say he broke too? Bill Gates, he stepped out, got herpes or something, allegedly. That's what they said. Or something, got burnt, something with Russian hoes. He ain't never had no money neither. What are you talking about, O'Shea? It's not smart. That's about it. It's a lot of things ain't smart. Smoking ain't smart. Speeding isn't smart. Not remembering everybody's name after you shake their hands isn't smart. These things won't prevent you. You can thrive despite your shortcomings. I believe that Abba has had a shortcoming, a lapse in judgment, and the fame and the notoriety and the easy accessibility to the type of women he really likes kind of got to him as a single man. But all this, I don't know. O'Shea he gets too righteous for me sometimes. Although I do respect the Reverend Dr. O'Shea Duke Jackson. Go ahead, O'Shea. I'm going to listen to the rest of the sermon, but just know I disagree with you 1,000%.
You're in their business, nobody wants you in their friend group.